Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to this whiskey review where today we're going to be starting a brand new series here on the channel and we're going to be reviewing some expressions from Glencadam and actually making it hashtag Glencadam Week, because this week we're going to be reviewing 7 Glencadam expressions. Now, a couple of you guys have been asking me for the Glencadam 17, the 15, the 13-year-old, and then someone even asked me for the 25 on Instagram. So I'm going to try and fit in all of these this week so I can cover each one of those. And that way we have a full sort of library of Glencadam videos. Now, if you have missed a video where I picked up all these different drams, I'll leave it over there in the top corner from my unboxing video, which is actually probably one of my favorite videos because I get to open things here on the channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into the review of the 10-year-old. Now, it's not the entry level. I believe there's one just underneath this one, but we're starting off with a 10 because that's what I've been able to get so far. So the Glencadam 10 is a 10-year-old whiskey bottled at an ABV of 46%. The full maturation for this one is in bourbon casks. The distillery itself, the Glencadam Distillery. They're owned by the parent company Angus Dundee that also own Tom and Toll. And in terms of the actual region is the Highlands of Scotland. Now, in terms of the price point on a full-size bottle over there, it seems to be around about £30 to £35 here in the UK. And you can also pick it on offer as well in the 20s if you're lucky, because I have seen it on some shops go for a very good price. And I was like, should I, shouldn't I? I didn't really know. I'm sure many of you have also probably seen the Glencadam whiskies on the shop shelves, but don't really know very much about it. So I want to hopefully with this series help you learn a little bit about Glencadam. Now, in terms of exclusivity, it's not exclusive as it is a core expression bottling. And in terms of the caramel colour, do they add it to this whiskey? Glencadam keep all their whiskies natural colour and non-chill filtered. So, without further ado, let's come straight into the nose. First impressions on the nose. First thing I think of is like an apple turnover. It's a pastry you get here in the UK. I'm sure you must get it also all around the world, but use puff pastry. It's golden, it's glazed all over the top, and inside, when you open it up, you've got this apple sauce and maybe even a little bit of spice in this one. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon, maybe a little dashes of cinnamon in the mixture of these green apples that are in an apple sauce. And maybe dusted over the top with a little bit of icing sugar to add a little bit more sweetness to this one on the nose. Really inviting first thing up. After that, you're then getting into a sweeter note, and it's consistently carrying on these sweeter notes on the nose. To me, it's like almost caramel wafers. There is a bit of creaminess to it as well. To me, it feels actually like you've taken double cream and actually maybe mix that double cream with the apple turnover. That would be something. And there is a soft note on this one that is like almost pecans, like pecan nuts, maybe pecan pie. But holding itself very consistently throughout the nose in this one is like a ripe pineapple, where you've got that tropical fruity note really holding itself very well. That's about it for the nose. Let's get into the palate next. Sláinte. Moving on to the palate next. Arrival onto the palate for this one is quite light. It's not what you'd expect from your Highland whiskey. However, that light style really has these nice variety of flavours. You do get a little bit of spices starting up front, this candied ginger. It then moves away into a little bit of a citrus note. And that citrus note to me is like, sort of like I'd say a lemon drop, where you get that citrusy lemony character and it's complemented together with a nice sweetness rounding it out. And then you move into a slight, I'd say like spiced oak, but straight away from that, I get a tropical fruit now. And the tropical fruit reminds me when I was sitting in Taiwan and I had the star fruit for the first time, and it's got a very unique character to it, but at the same time it dries the palate ever so slightly. So that was kind of interesting. It then also gets this like tropical fruity note of like that pineapple coming back off the nose into the palate, but now it's like a candied pineapple cubes. And there is a little bit of these orchard fruits, these pears. It's like green pears, green conference pears, and maybe a little bit of toffeed apple as well. It is a little bit youthful the first time you try it, but after a couple sips, completely nullifies and you actually feel quite normal. So let's get straight into the finish next. So for my overall opinions on the finish of the Glencadam 10, the Glencadam 10 has a very interesting finish where it's actually quite medium long, where it actually holds itself very well for a 10-year-old whiskey. You get these sort of cereal notes really coming through, a little bit of salted caramel, maybe vanilla fudge, where you get that vanilla note really coming through, but that sweetness does remain very consistent and a little bit of citrus just on the end. So overall for this whiskey, in terms of my rating for the Glencadam 10, I'm going to give this one an 82 out of 100. Reason behind that, I really love the aspect of the actual nose. The nose is just incredible, how you get that apple turnover really consistent. The only thing I really didn't like so much was probably that little bit of spiciness where it felt very youthful. Maybe that was just dram, but I'll experiment again when I have another bottle. But it was very youthful initially at first, but again, that drying character. However, it's a very interesting style of whiskey. In terms of price point at 35 or 30 to 35, very good value for money in terms of what it is for a 10-year-old expression. Doesn't need water, doesn't need time. Personally, I'd say add a little bit of both, and then you'll really start to see this one start taking on a different thing. And if you add water, that rating would definitely go up by maybe 2 or 3. So that's my opinion on this one, the Glencadam 10-year-old. Start things off into the series, 82 out of 100. Let me know if your thoughts on it, if you've tried it down below in the comment section. On that note, we're going to wrap the video at that. If you have enjoyed, drop it a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. And this has been me, JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you for the next video. Slàinte.